Hi again. This is Heather Baker, Test Wave Marketing Manager at Automation Consultants. Today I'll be talking about the future of testing, and we believe that the future of testing is in the cloud. There may be some debate about the speed, but one thing seems clear. In the not too distant future, the cloud will become a major component of every organization's IT estate. That, at least, is the expectation of some 50 senior UK CIOs recently surveyed, who predicted that within 5 years, 40 to 80% of their IT budgets would be allocated to cloud-based services. However, with one IT leader among them remarking that the cloud is one of the most overhyped words I've come across in IT for at least 10 years, it's evident that there is still some trust building to be done before every CIO will commit wholeheartedly to migrating core business applications to the cloud. Understandably so, perhaps, given that for certain areas of IT activity, such as payment system, supply chain applications, and customer data operations, concerns over integrating legacy systems, questions about jurisdiction, and considerations of security mean that making the transition away from an on-premise approach is not to be undertaken lightly or without due diligence. However, for some applications, a cloud-based future can in fact be far more readily and immediately embraced, with software test management an obvious case in point. Here, not only are the barriers to cloud entry minimal, there is no real need to worry about legacy integration, for instance. But what's more, market conditions favor its adoption. Not least among the economic drivers is the relatively recent phenomenon of globalized IT talent. Offshore countries have emerged to offer deep wells of competent, low-cost contractors to technology companies. India instantly springs to mind, with Eastern Europe not far behind. Furthermore, with money always tending towards the least expensive resource, it is hardly surprising that some 60% of agile testing teams are now said to be dispersed, with the obvious implications for the management of the testing process. It would seem that close proximity working is becoming the exception in our global village, and under such geographic pressure, standard methods of managing software testing are liable to show cracks. Tracking test progress with spreadsheets accompanied by a blizzard of emails may just be a sustainable approach when everyone is located on the same campus. But add in thousands of kilometers and English spoken as a second language, and the potential for miscommunication issues, duplication of effort, and introduction of error grows exponentially. Instead, employ a cloud-based test management application, perhaps bolstered by Skype or another communications package, and life becomes far more controlled and much, much less complicated. Now you have a solution that can capture live information and make it readily accessible on demand from a single source. Test scripts, recorded defects, and results analysis, all in one place as and when they are needed. Using such applications makes it possible for remote testers to work even with an agile framework such as Scrum, which emphasizes close contact among developers and between developers and testers. Cloud-based testing gives professionals a powerful tool that's cost-effective and easy to set up, while also offering the opportunity for real-time collaborative thinking and comment, which means problems and issues are resolved rapidly and far more easily. What's more, since members of a software test management team use their browsers to access a cloud-based application, the transition to a new way of working causes minimal disruption, as it reduces the need for staff training. A case of familiarity breeding contempt, perhaps. Such benefits alone should give even the most cautious CIO pause for thought, but add in the potential for achieving considerable cost savings, and switching to a cloud-based test management regime ought to have serious appeal to anybody managing IT spend. By moving to the cloud, not only are the upfront capital requirements of purchasing servers removed, but so are the future and ongoing costs of maintaining them. And particularly, if you are running an offshore team for development and test management, the benefits can be even greater. For example, there's no need to establish a virtual or physical line to an offshore location through possibly creaking infrastructure to configure servers or set up databases. The estimates of the savings from using the cloud for test management, of course, differ depending upon individual corporate circumstances, but even the more cautious ones are 10 to 25%, making it a desirable prospect, particularly at a time when budgets are so much under pressure. When even relatively simple software projects can generate many thousands of tests, it is essential to ensure that the test management process remains as controlled and streamlined as possible, particularly when dealing with dispersed teams. So, just as with any business process, this means applying the tool that is best suited to the task. With increasingly dispersed team working becoming the norm and ever more applications residing in the cloud, it seems only natural that software test management should join them. To find out more about our cloud-based test management tool TestWave, visit testwave.co.uk.